from SupplementReviews.com, bringing you the latest video review. It's been a while for a long overdue product from a company you probably have heard of by now. Muscle Elements. The product today is PreCre. Alright guys, this has been one I've been meaning to do for a while, but I wanted to make sure I had the time to, of course, give it a thorough breakdown as it deserves. As I'm going to go ahead and say it here, it was one of the best pre-workout products I tried in 2014. Now, with that bold statement, we're going to cover the front of the container here, and then we're going to cover exactly why it's something you need to try. So, first and foremost, I would classify this product as more of a performance-based pre-workout product compared to a stimulant one. I've become a fan of those, as sometimes you get over the top in terms of stimulants and they carried away, and the performance and or ingredient profiles and proprietary blends take the stage. That's not the case here. Everything is fully disclosed. Within the blends, of course, there's a little bit of proprietariness here, trade secret wise, but there's no lack of the key ingredients being listed. So anyway, first and foremost, let's cover the front container here. Pre-training, creatine, and glycogen infusion. That sounds exciting to some. Like, glycogen infusion? What does that have to do with pre-workout? I'll tell you why. Increases power and strength, resistance to muscle failure, muscle pumps, and fullness. Per scoop, got a pretty hefty scoop size here. I'll show you that bad boy. You may have gotten used to, of course, seeing all these tiny little scoops with all these pre-workouts out there these days, having those little, of course, concentrated formulas. That's not the case here. You got a pretty hefty, almost protein-sized scoop going on here, and that's not a bad thing. In terms of this one, each scoop that you're looking at here, you're going to be rocking 5 grams of creatine, no artificial colors, 1.5 grams of betaine, 5 grams of cyclic dextrin, and 1.2 grams of beta-alanine per scoop. Okay, so this is a pretty good serving size scoop here. So taking a look at it, each scoop, of course, is going to have a nice little blend in there. It'll start tasting mixability. This stuff mixes smooth. It comes in watermelon flavor. It's very pleasant to drink. It's nice and light. If you've ever had, I guess the thing I'd compare it to is Afterglow from Biorhythm. The watermelon flavor tastes pretty good to that. It's a very pleasing watermelon flavor, nice and smooth. Texture-wise, it's a little bit different. It's got that cyclodextrin in there as well as a creatine, so it's going to be smooth, mixes well. Didn't have any issues with clumping in it. Straightforward. Gets a 9.2 out of 10. All right. I'm not going to spend much time on that because it's delicious to drink and it gets done with out of the way. The more important thing to me is, of course, the ingredient profile. So, per scoop here, you're going to have 40 calories, all right? Because you got 10 grams of carbohydrates, all right? In that, none of it's going to be sugar, which is good. Of course, got a little calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and sodium. Standard, of course, minerals in there. But starting with the glycopump infusion element, cyclic dextrin, modified glucose polymers, PTS surge in there. So the main thing is with 5 grams of course, the cyclic dextrin. Cyclic dextrin is a low molecular weight carbohydrate that's going to be emerging in a lot of products coming out this year. Don't be surprised if you see it expand everywhere. The primary one you're going to see it in, I guess, on the main stage right now is Glycofusion from Gaspari. It's going to be an up-and-coming one. It's starting to, of course, really take off because it's got some good science behind it, replacing waxy maize, dextrose, maltodextrin, all these other lab-grade carbohydrates because of it being a, like I said, low molecular weight carbohydrate. It absorbed very rapidly in the stomach and the gut, not giving any digestive issues, of course, not having as big of an impact in terms of insulin and in hindering fat loss, but instead providing a readily available source of glucose. It's going to increase performance dramatically, and believe it or not, some of the best pumps I've ever had have been since supplementing additional cyclic dextrin, not only in, of course, pre-workouts like this, but also in a direct source of cyclic dextrin with my amino acids intra-workout. It hits hard, it hits quick, and the pumps are unbelievable, providing a rapidly available source of glucose. So when you hear like terms, you go, "Oh man, you're pumped up with all those carbs, you have all the glycogen." That's what we're talking about, cyclodextrin. It hits hard, it hits fast, and the recovery with this stuff is going to be dramatic. Cyclodextrin is something that is going to be on the forefront, and of course, it's going to play a pretty big role. So definitely look into that. All right, so you got those modified glucose polymers in there, as well as that, of course, sitting here at 10,000 milligrams or 10 grams. That's where the 10 grams of carbs come from. 5 of that being cyclodextrin. Personally, I prefer amounts between 25 to 50 total, because of course I supplement with pure cyclodextrin powder with my intra-workout as well. And the effects will be dramatic. So it is in here. You're going to have that pretty nice little pump in there. even from just that 5 grams of it. All right, moving on to PreCre Power Composite Elements. In here, rocking PreCre, which is the high-end version of creatine monohydrate. No bloating, no digestive issues, nice and smooth, as well as regular creatine monohydrate and creatine hydrochloride, okay? You have 5 grams in there total. Has a nice, hefty amount of creatine. More than enough, of course, to take care of the business there, provide ATP for the muscle cell, and, of course, increase your performance, hitting you hard, hitting you fast. Intercellular capacity amplifier elements. This is where, of course, you got the beta anhydrous. Beta-alanine is carnosins. They got the high-end beta-alanine in here, not the cheap stuff. As well as, of course, having creatine oil, phosphate, and taurine. All are volumizing elements, of course, to keep the muscle cells nice and full, keep them happy, and, of course, keep them functioning efficiently. Moving on from there, the mind muscle activator elements, of course, got some tyrosine in here, some caffeine anhydrous, guarana extract, which is also 22% caffeine, disodium phosphate, dimagnesium phosphate, dicalcium phosphate, and, of course, DMAE, which is in part a cognitive enhancer and, of course, borderline nootropic. So it's not going to be over the top in terms of stimulant, which is nice. It's going to be a nice little mental pickup, yet it's going to be, of course, if you need to add in thermogenics, whatever else it may be. In terms of your stimulant blend there, you're more than okay. It's not going to put you over the top, but you will have a nice, clear focus. So that being said, take a look at the ingredient profile here. I like everything they have in there. It's definitely performance-based. It's not based on how many random things they can cram in there for, of course, making you feel like a pre-workout's working from the mental buzz. But in terms of performance, it's going to more than pick up the slack, no proprietary blends, and it's going to have a lot of stuff in here. It's actually going to help your performance, help your muscle recover, get those pumps, and of course get real life results in terms of actual muscle building, which is nice. Rather than, yes, you're going to, of course, anytime you're lifting weights, stimulate the muscle cells, going to lead to muscle growth when it's supplemented with proper nutrition. But the things in here are going to stack the deck in your favor in terms of actual elements are going to help you, of course, achieve those goals. So with the ingredient profile in here, I love it. It's very novel. I haven't seen another pre-workout like this with this type of focus. It's going to be, of course, I believe, the direction the industry moves in next, going away from stimulants, hard hitting in terms of there. In terms back to actual performance blends, it gets a very solid 9.5 out of 10. Effectiveness-wise, the pumps in this stuff are great. The endurance is great. I don't have any issues digestive-wise. It sits nice in your stomach, so first thing in the morning, it's going to be nice to drink. You're not going to have an issue with it in terms of anything like that. The cyclodextrin, of course, once you've experienced something like that, is going to want to be a staple in your supplement regimen, whether it be in your pre-workout or supplementing it intra-workout, of course, along with your aminos or however you choose to do it. And it's even going to be appearing in your post-workout products. Cyclodextrin's up and coming. I can't see enough about it. And this is one of the first products I've seen to have it in it. So that's kind of groundbreaking right there. Awesome stuff. Pumps are great on it. The focus is good. I've kind of gotten away from heavy stimulant blends, so I respond pretty well to it. Surprisingly, even though the focus isn't in terms of stimulants, so I do like that. All right, recovery is going to be enhanced, of course. One, having cyclodextrin in there for glycogen, of course, as well as supplementing it afterwards. So playing a part of your supplement regimen is going to be very good, and I like it in there. Endurance is also notably increased because you're going to have the creatine in there, along with the glycogen elements. So it works really well for me. It's going to get a solid 9.3. Very good. Value-wise, they give you a lot of money, bang for the buck in here. In terms of, I get 30 servings per container of fully dosed ingredients in here. It's hard to beat the prices. Prices like any other pre-workout. You see some of these tiny little tubs. Like, okay, I'm paying $30 for 30 tiny little scoops. You're getting full scoops of high-quality, performance-based ingredients for the same price point you're going to be paying for other ones. It may be slightly higher, I guess, like when you first glance at it, when you see how much stuff they put in it, that's going to help you, especially for the price. It makes it more than worth the value. The value here is actually very good for pre-workout. I like it. It gets a 9.4 out of 10. Rounding out the course equation here is my overall rating. It's going to get a solid 9.4 out of 10. It's one of the best pre-workouts I've tried in 2014. It's 2015 now. But in terms of taste and mixability, ingredient profile especially, effectiveness, and of course performance, it sets the bar pretty high. Muscle Elements has another great product, especially when you stack it with their amino flow to provide amino acids, along with the cyclodextrin, the stimulants, and of course the cyclodextrin for performance recovery benefits, and of course endurance for real life performance recovery. They have a nice synergistic stack here with their other products, or you can use whatever amino acid product you choose. You're still going to have nice effects from this. So I've been very pleased with it. PreCre has been a product I've meaning to review for a while. It's one of my top recommendations. If you're not looking for an all-out stimulant blend, more performance one, it's going to take the top of my performance pre-workouts currently right now, which is nice. There's some other ones out there I feel that are better if you're looking for that straight up buzz and of course to pump thing, but performance wise, endurance wise, I'm loving the cyclodextrin, and I'm loving, of course, the performance aspect of the ingredient profile. So once again, it's a solid 9.4 out of 10. Muscle Elements put together a nice pre-workout here, performance based. And that was my quick thorough review on it. Alright everybody, check out PreCre from Muscle Elements, as well as the rest of our reviews on SupplementReviews.com. This has been Petey from SupplementReviews.com. Thanks for tuning in. Check out that PreCre and be on the lookout for more reviews. You have a good day.